Imagine you're on a train, and you spot the most stunning woman you've ever seen. You're young, you're bold, and you think you've got a shot, only to realize she's not just out of your league, she's actually your father's new girlfriend. Talk about an awkward family dinner, right? But in this story, the awkwardness is just the tip of the iceberg, because what follows is a web of secrets, betrayal, and a revenge plot that goes way further than anyone expected. Stick around, because this family dynamic is about to get incredibly messy. Our story kicks off with a young guy named Titu, who's heading home for the holidays. He's feeling pretty good about himself until he locks eyes with Miriam, a gorgeous woman in the next compartment. Titu, being a bit of a confident teenager, tries to make a move, but Miriam barely gives him the time of day. She looks at him like he's just a kid. But here's where it gets wild. Titu watches as another man enters the compartment, and after a few suggestive looks, Miriam leads him straight to the restroom. Titu is left standing in the hallway, listening to everything and feeling completely rejected. He's thinking, really? She chose that guy over me. Little does he know, he's going to be seeing a lot more of her very soon. When Titu finally reaches his station, his dad, Ralphie, is there to pick him up. The vibes are great until Ralphie mentions his new girlfriend is arriving on the same train. Titu's jaw practically hits the floor when the girlfriend steps off the carriage, and it's none other than Miriam, the same woman who just had a secret rendezvous in the train bathroom. Titu is stunned, but for some reason, he decides to keep his mouth shut. Maybe he's waiting for the right moment, or maybe he's just too shocked to speak. Either way, the ride home is definitely the most uncomfortable silence of his life. Once they get to the house, we realize this isn't exactly a normal household. We meet Sandro, Ralph's cousin, who is having a secret affair with the housemaid, Silvana. They think they're being discreet, but they're caught in the act by Uncle Alex, who, instead of stopping them, just watches from the shadows. Titu happens to walk by and see the whole mess too, feeling a mix of disgust and confusion. He starts to realize that everyone in this house is hiding something. It's like a playground of secrets where no one is actually who they claim to be. To clear his head, Titu heads to a nearby lake where he runs into his childhood friend, Andrea. There's always been a bit of a spark between them, and after a bit of flirting and a wardrobe malfunction in the water, things start getting heated. They eventually find themselves alone on the beach, and Andrea asks Titu to rub some cream on her back. Titu is ready to take things to the next level, but he's nervous because it's his first time. He tells her he wants it to be perfect, in a room, with the lights off and the curtains closed. It's almost sweet, until you remember the absolute chaos happening back at his house. But the story takes a dark, tragic turn the very next day. Titu is hanging out with his cousin, and they've both had a bit too much to smoke. His cousin starts getting a little too hands-on with Andrea, and Titu loses his cool. In a fit of jealousy, he pushes his cousin into the water. The problem? His cousin can't swim. Titu watches in horror as the water goes still. By the time the police find the body, the guilt is eating Titu alive. He and Andrea make a pact to keep it a secret, but that kind of weight changes a person. Titu starts acting out, even attacking the maid Silvana, in a moment of misplaced rage, earning himself a couple of slaps from his father. Fast forward a bit, and the tension finally boils over during a family trip to an old castle. While Titu and Miriam are exploring ahead, Titu's father Ralphie finds himself alone with Titu's girlfriend, Andrea. In a move that is pure betrayal, Ralphie makes a move on her, and Titu catches them in the act. Titu is devastated. His father, the man he's supposed to look up to, just crossed the ultimate line. He retreats to his hotel room, broken and furious. This is where the story takes its most unexpected turn. Miriam, seeing how much pain Titu is in, comes to his room to comfort him. When he tells her what he saw his father doing with Andrea, Miriam decides that the best way to get back at Ralphie is to give Titu exactly what he's been wanting since that first train ride. It's a twisted form of revenge, but in that moment, they both decide to betray the man who betrayed them. By the time they get back home, Titu is cold toward Andrea. He's seen her true colors, and he's holding all the cards. But during a game of tennis, Andrea finally asks him why he's being so distant. Titu looks at her, thinking about exposing everything: the death of his cousin, the castle incident, his affair with his stepmother. But then, it starts to rain. In the heat of the moment, the anger turns back into passion, and they find themselves drawn to each other again. As they head inside, they hear the unmistakable sounds of Ralphie and Miriam in the other room. Instead of being disgusted, Titu and Andrea decide to just lean into the madness themselves. It's a world where loyalty doesn't exist and every relationship is built on a lie. Titu started the summer as an innocent kid and ended it as a man who's just as complicated and compromised as the rest of his family. But I have to ask you, if you were in Titu's shoes and you saw your father with your girlfriend, would you have taken the same path of revenge, or would you have walked away from that toxic house for good? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.